Hey, it's Jen, Bitch in a Hurry, Not So Mystical Tarot, and we're just going to do a quickie reading for the week of November 5th, just to see what's happening. Now, we do have a new moon in Scorpio coming on the 7th, so it is a time of transformation through forgiveness, really, is kind of the theme of that. So if you have something going on, usually something deep inside, highly personal, oftentimes the forgiveness can be forgiving yourself, not necessarily forgiving those that have wronged you. Generally, we blame ourselves more because we allowed the situation to happen. So oftentimes, we're the people we need to forgive more than even other people. And you know, when you forgive someone, it always makes you feel better because the people that you need to forgive oftentimes don't even know you're upset or you care. And if you need to forgive yourself, maybe you don't even know that either until you look kind of deep inside. And Scorpio is a time to look deep inside. They are super, super deep. We are just going to have a couple cards here. Not a couple. I always have more than a couple. But also, I should tell you, all of the November single sign readings and videos are up. There's also a video up for the November 7th new moon. So you have November 1st through the 15th, all 12 signs individual videos. November 15th through the 30th, all signs individual videos. And you have the new moon on around the time of November 7th, all signs individual videos. And make sure to watch your moon and rising signs as well, because it kind of can give you a clearer picture. Some people identify more with a moon sign or their rising sign versus their sun sign. So let's see what else we have going on. We have a lot of energy. It's crackly like almost today. A lot of energy happening. What about this? We have this week of the new moon in Scorpio. So it's highly emotionally charged, and like I said, kind of deep inside stuff. It's kind of a time where it might be very sensitive material as well. So be ready for that. Let's get one more card, and then, like I said, we're going to make this a quickie reading. We're not going to make this a super long one. I make the ones for each individual sign a little bit longer, but we will. This one, well, it didn't come back out. Okay, we'll let it go. Let's see if we get this one more card. If not, we're going to let it rest. We'll pick one right at the end to sum everything up. How about that? Okay, we start out here with the Six of Cups. This is a sign that we are easily getting stuck in nostalgia this week. And you know what? That seems perfect with the Scorpio new moon, because you're going deep down inside. So you can remember what happened a long time ago, but don't get stuck there, because you can't move forward from that. And that's what I'm seeing here, is that you have this nostalgia. It's like when you clean out like your closet and you have a box you haven't opened in 10 years. Instead of going, okay, I'll check that out later, you want to go through each individual piece, and now it's 3 hours later and nothing is done. That's what I mean. Don't get stuck in the nostalgia of everything. I do want to say, and I mentioned this as we were talking, this is the Seven of Swords, the Secret Keepers. And like I had said, this information, whatever it is that you're forgiving, whether it is another person or yourself, it's not something, I say this often when I get this card, not something for social media. It's something private, and keep it quiet. Don't put it out to the whole wide world. You may share with the person you're forgiving or someone close to you, but this is not something that belongs on social media. This is private, and it's really deep and important. So take it seriously and keep it off of your social media. They're not ready for that, and you're not ready for the flack that may come from it. Now, on the good side, you have here the Three of Pentacles, which shows that you have a team, a support team. You have I'm not saying you've got 30 or 40 best friends, but you have a couple people that you're very, very close to, who are completely and entirely on your team, and who really understand you and care about you, and they fully support you. So take advantage of that. And piggybacking on the Seven of Swords, keeping it to yourself, I want to show you here this Two of Cups. This is saying that there is someone you are very close to. It could be your partner in life. It could be a best friend, mom, cousin, sister, someone that you're very close to, who you really trust. You can share this with them, and it may help you greatly to share this with them, this thing that you're forgiving. And it could be, like I said, forgiving yourself for a bad choice you've made, a bad relationship you stayed in too long, a job you passed up, not being feeling like you haven't been a good person, whatever it is. But you can share that with this person, and this person will love you. They're the yin to your yang, they love you no matter what, and they're there for you. So feel free to share that with this person. and coping with what we're looking to forgiving ourselves and other people for. Sometimes the only way that you can do that is, you have the Hangman here, looking at things from a different perspective. If someone else did wrong you or do something to you, you can try to look at it from their perspective. Try to look at it from their point of view. Maybe it wasn't intentional. Sometimes when we're wronged, we feel the intentionality that someone is doing this to hurt us. And oftentimes people are doing things for themselves. They're not outwardly, intentionally trying to hurt us. They hurt us in the process, but it isn't their first priority. It's injuring and hurting us. So try to look at it from their perspective, their point of view. You might see that it wasn't intentional, and it may in turn make it easier for you to let that go so that you don't become stuck back here in your past. Because that's a big waste of time, you know? Okay, moving through this forgiving, and this is kind of midweek, so you have that new moon in Scorpio occurring, and when you come through that transformation and you find a way to forgive, you have this 10 of Pentacles, which is a completion. This can be financial, but given that we have this new moon in Scorpio, I take this in the practical sense, so this is more around your practical life, around your home life. It could be at your work, but it's not like you're going to get a raise or, go ask your boss for a raise. It's more like things come around. Maybe someone took credit for a project of yours at work, and now it finally comes, you forgive them, and it finally comes to the light that you were the one that really, you were the main driver behind that project. It could be something like that, but this is something in your everyday life that kind of comes to fruition, and it makes you feel a lot better, and you start to feel like a little bit successful for getting through all of this. And then we have here the 6 of Wands, which just reinforces the fact that we are going to have some victory during this time. We are going to have a little bit of time where we feel like, okay, I got this under control. You had that 6 of Cups moment, highly emotional, very nostalgic. Now you have the 6 of Rods, which is an action phase. You took the action. You've had some victory. You feel really good about it. So you have this on your side. I want to just caution you. Sometimes with a victory this large, it's easy to get a little bit haughty or a little bit like, you can't touch me now. I got this under control. I'm doing great. Whatever it might be. Just remember, where you were before, and that it's easy to fall from grace. So if you've been able to give yourself that grace or someone else that grace, enjoy the victory, but don't get haughty about it like you can't ever fall back into the same routine again, because you can. So enjoy the victory graciously. That's what I want to say about that. Now we have the Page of Pentacles here, which is a message, practical message, driven with knowledge and wisdom here. This page is sending you a message like, it's about your practical everyday life. Like, you're doing okay. You're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. And, like you had the 6 of Wands. This is a progression from the 6, right? You have the page here who is saying, all right, keep this going. Keep this going. Let's keep this motivation going. You're seeing results. Let's just keep on keeping on. Don't change a thing. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Keep this regular, steady energy. Now, this is interesting. We have the Knight of Cups here, which is highly emotionally charged, and this may come from this rush of forgiveness. You may have this really great feeling when that forgiveness finally comes through. You may wake up one day and just be like, I can breathe, because you don't realize how something hanging over your head, or someone or some situation or issue that you need to forgive, how it just can hang over your head and just really dampen your spirit. So when that fog and veil are lifted of that forgiveness, of this will be the signal of your transformation. Toward the end of the week, you're going to feel like you can breathe again. You're going to have that feeling like, I've let it go. Now what? What's next? Like, I'm excited. And I think that's going to be the payoff for all of the hard work that you have this week, that all this hard work you're going to put in. And, make no mistake, forgiving people who have done you wrong, or when you've done yourself wrong, I think it's even harder to get over that. But finally forgiving yourself and being able to, like, let it go is going to give you this rush, this emotional rush, like, all right, I got this. I feel good. I'm ready to open myself up again. I'm ready to trust myself again. And that's a pretty big deal, especially when you're working on deep down, serious forgiveness, right? Let's get one more card for this week that has the, oh look, okay. have the Ten of Cups, which is oftentimes relationship, marriage. This is like the card of ultimate happiness, ultimate personal happiness. So it's just a reinforcement that going through this new moon on the 7th, which is I think Wednesday, going through that time will culminate in first this rush of emotion, and then you'll settle down into some emotional forgiveness and settle down into some comfort, some peace, some emotional peace and safety. This is definitely a card of emotional safety. So it will be worth it to put in that effort to forgive. Do that. Put that effort in. Take that time. Forgive yourself. Forgive other people. Live and let live. You know, and I know that is easier said than done. I understand that. But carrying a grudge, especially against yourself, is the worst, you know, because we say things to ourselves that we would never say to another person. Listen to how you talk to yourself. Just know that when you get through this forgiveness, and especially looking from a different perspective, will help you, really help you. I think that's a key point in the forgiveness process, is trying to see it from the other side. Maybe you made a bad choice, but you may, if you look at it from a different perspective, say, geez, I see why I did that. See why I did that. And then, of course, I had to get one more card. The last 3 cards you have, the Knight of Cups, right? The emotional rush of realizing that you have let these things go and you've been able to forgive yourself or other people. The settling back into this 10 of Cups, right? The settling back into, I'm safe. I'm emotionally safe. I've given up this anger and all these things I had to get rid of, and I'm emotionally safe. And now this Page of Cups, this emotional message that it's okay to be sentimental about this time a long time ago, but you don't have to live there and stay there. The Page is very emotional and very sentimental. So while you can enjoy the sentimentality of whatever this was, you don't have to live there and you don't have to stay there. The Page. All right. I will let you guys go. I hope you have a fantastic week. And like I said, all the videos are up for all the signs. And again, thank you to everyone who participated in the Halloween 31% off week. It was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate the faith that you guys put in me. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.